chose not to have the surgery. He chose to rest and relax and hope it goes away. And then he ended.
We took a look at Gilmore, and if we got Gilmore, we win in the division. I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like Stephon Gilmore.
Richard Rodgers. He's with our team over the last couple of years. So this is about our fourth time picking him up. What does that mean?
Welcome to another episode of BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, BIRDGANG31. Today, we have another special guest with the nation today. We got Chip from Chips and Dish from the AARP?
AAT Sports Media Network.
Sports Network. Yes, man. How you doing today, my guy?
Living the dream, my friend. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's always a good day to talk birds. You know what I'm saying, my guy?
I do know what you're saying, and more importantly, it's a good day to talk about the fact that we are 1 week away from Eagles football that actually matters. It's been a very long offseason.
Very long, man. I cannot wait to this game one where the Birds go down to Atlanta and we destroy them Falcons, my guy. It's going to be amazing. We're going to get to see the young guns get out there and work their magic like we know they're going to do. Jalen Hurts is going to lead our team to our first victory as the leader of our squad. So yeah, it's going to be really nice, man, really nice. Before we get started, just go ahead and give them a breakdown of your show. You know, what are you guys all about and how long you guys been doing this?
So I am a part of the All About the Birds network, and we now have expanded to the AAT Sports Media Network. What's going on? So we have a variety of shows. So every Monday night I do my show. It's called Chips and Dish, and we talk about a lot of everything. So we've done, the debate about steroids in sports. We've done the conversation about racism in sports. I mean, we've had some serious conversations, and we do that every Monday night. We have a soccer show on our network. We have sports and gambling shows on our network. We have obviously Eagles shows on our network. I mean, we do a lot. And we air on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and obviously all your podcasting if you like to just hear us in your ears and not see us on your screens.
Nice, man. So let's get back into the football thing. Yes, sir. Like the offseason? Do you think the Eagles did enough this offseason? How do you like Jalen Hurts? Do you think he's going to be that leader that takes us to that next level this year? The young guns. Just give me your little breakdown how everything went this offseason.
So I think the big thing that we have to do as Eagles fans is realize that this season is not the season where we're hosting a Lombardi trophy. We have to wrap our minds around that. So if we look at it that way, the team has done a lot to set themselves up for success. Obviously, playing in the NFC East, we always have a chance to make the playoffs. But in reality, this team is not geared for a Super Bowl this year. Now, new coach. I'm a fan of him because I'm a teacher myself. I like that he is a teacher. The moving on from the Sandman himself, the Snorosaurus of Doug Peterson. Thank you for the Lombardi, but if transparent was an ice cream flavor, that would be better than calling his offense vanilla. So moving on from that was really important. Mm-hmm. Moving on from Carson Wentz was important. And you're seeing all of the issues happening over in Indianapolis right now. Moving on from Carson Wentz was important. And you're starting to now see what a leader sounds like. So I really like the Jalen Hurts anointing of the quarterback. I like Nick Sirianni. I don't think this team is going to win a whole ton this year. Obviously, I want them to, but they're still not ready. There's too many moving pieces right now. There are too many moving pieces. There's what's the offense going to be? What's this defense going to be? New coaches, new coordinators, new everything. They might sneak into the playoffs because of the NFC East, but they are not on the same tier as your Kansas Cities, as your Tampa Bays, as your Buffalo Bills, where they maybe have one weakness. We have maybe one or two solidified positions. So,
Oh.
as an Eagles fan and as a realist, I want us to do well this year. I'm excited that they're back, and I'm just rooting for the success. But we have to understand, if we win 6 to 7 games, that's an improvement over last year.
Man.
We're a 4-win team. We're a
I'm
4-win
having to go with you.
team.
Listen, this is how I always break up for the fans that think that way. I think, you know what I'm saying, you got to look at last season as a fluke. You know, it was a COVID season. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players got hurt more than average, got hurt last year. You know what I'm saying? We also, you got to look at it. Everybody took a step back from every team around the league, you know, took a step back last year just from the way the situation, no fans in the stands,
Sure.
you know, no off seasons and, you know, virtual learning and stuff like that. But, the Eagles have been a good football team for the last like 15 years. You know, you can't look at one season and think that all of a sudden now we are that team that has to worry about winning some games, man. We always win games. You know, we went to the playoffs like 5 straight years, you know, with 1 Super Bowl with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody needs to understand that we are a winning organization. And yes, you know, we do have a new coaching staff. You know, we do have, you know, new pieces on the team, but we have veterans in all the key positions. You know, we got the offensive line full of veterans, and as long as they stay healthy, they are tops in the league. You know what I'm saying? We got the defensive line that's full of veterans, and like same thing on that side. If they stay healthy, they're tops in the league. You know, we got veterans at linebacker, at safety, and at cornerback. You know, the only real young pieces that we have is our running backs and our receivers this year. But the speed that they possess, it's like, you know, elite speed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know too many cornerbacks that are going to be able to handle Jalen Reagor, Devonta Smith, and Quez Watkins together, you know, on the field at the same time. Then you also look at Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz on the outside, you know what I'm saying? And, hey, don't forget Mr. Miles Sanders, man. You know, everybody was looking for Miles to have a great year last year.
Absolutely.
You know, he did not get the ball enough. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wondered, well, you know, he fumbled. You know, he dropped some balls. But you got to realize, it's a confidence thing. If Miles Sanders was getting the ball after he ran that 80-yard touchdown, they kept feeding him the ball, I promise you his confidence would have been a lot higher, and he probably wouldn't have dropped so many or even, you know, fumbled the ball as much, you know, as he did last year. You know, so this year's going to be a new season. It's going to be a new era, you know, of football. Nick Sirianni is keeping everything close to vest, and I think that is the biggest key to this all, because our first 6 games are our hardest games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think of the schedule, you know, and if no one has any tape on what you're about to do those first 6 games, it's going to take at least 6 games for you to figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of an advantage for us as I see it.
I hear what you're saying, and I love the positivity that you're speaking. Like you're inspiring me. Like, you're ready to go, and I respect you on that. I have a slightly different take, which is, yes, we have been in the playoffs these past couple seasons, and yes, we did win the Super Bowl. Again, I want to say again, I am an Eagles fan. I'm not like coming on your show and trolling you here.
Hey.
The Super Bowl season was a fluke. The Super Bowl season was a fluke. We did not deserve to be. We did not deserve to be. It was everything worked itself out. Everything worked itself out, though. Everything hit right. We caught lightning in a bottle and won a Super Bowl, and it was incredible. And I'll never forget that moment. But I think the more telltale sign was the fact that the following season we barely squeak into the playoffs, and we barely squeak into the play. I thought that was more telling of the Doug Peterson regime. And I really do. I feel like a lot of this falls on Doug Peterson, because for multiple seasons, he did not develop any talent. You know, you look at guys like Quez Watkins and John Hightower, like those guys, they went in last season and they were drafted where they were, and they were basically told during the draft, like, look, you're not going to play too much. We're going to develop you, and it's going to be great. And then injuries happen, which, again, is another constant problem with this Philadelphia Eagles team. So I'm hoping that gets corrected, because practices are actually, you know, tough now, instead of whatever, like, okay, we're going to go out and have fun at practice with Doug Peterson. And then guys like Quez Watkins and John Hightower were all of a sudden thrown into starting roles, and they weren't ready. They weren't developed. Everything that happened, they weren't in the right position. So the Super Bowl was lightning in a bottle. That has been my take. And I'll take more of that lightning in a bottle anytime we want to go on a run. I'm cool with it. But with all the injuries we had, I mean, hell, our MVP quarterback went down. Nick Foles should not have had us win a Super Bowl. In no universe does Nick Foles become a Super Bowl MVP, except if we are damn lucky, which is great.
Our team was just good at that time. We were on
the team clicked. The team clicked.
The team was clicking. You know
what I'm saying? So. And that's what I'm saying. That's what's the lightning in the bottle thing. The team was not better than New England. The team was not better than New England. They were better that day. Mm-hmm. You saw the next season with a lot of the same players, a lot of the same injuries, what that team really was. And then the season removed from that, 4-win season, you saw what the team was. So they did have to overthrow it. And you had to have the veterans now saying, look, we want to win. We're staying here. Like the fact that Jason Kelce is staying here matters to me. The fact that Brandon Graham wants to retire an Eagle matters to me. The fact that Zach Ertz says, I want to retire an Eagle matters to me. All these things matter to me. It says that this organization is still supreme. It's just these past couple seasons, we weren't. And again, and I'm seeing the comments rolling in. Yeah, running the ball matters. You know, Miles Sanders has never had a 20 carry game. He had 19 carry games. He had 18 carry games, and they never gave him that 20th. Exactly.
Yeah, but like you said, though, you kind of answered your own thing there with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was because of Doug Peterson's arrogance. You know, he wrote the book right after. He came with the same offense. You know, he wanted to keep everything the same vanilla stuff. We had 6 defense and everything like that. And that was part of the downfall with the injuries together of why our team started coming down after the Super Bowl. But everybody has Super Bowl hangovers. You know, that's very common. In the NFL to come with the Super Bowl. Everybody's been partying all off season. You know, they're enjoying the win. You know, it's been a long time since the city even won a championship. So,
I understand
that side of it. But in terms of the fluke, man, like, yes, everything was clicking together. I think that, you know, we had a run defense. We were playing smart football. That's why we won the Super Bowl. It wasn't really a fluke thing, but when you're one of the top rushing teams in the NFL, you have a good chance of winning that Super Bowl, no matter what year it is. You know what I'm saying? If we ran Miles Sanders last year and had Kenny, who was our backup, Howard, you know, running some good rocks, Boston Scott running some good, you know, running the ball pretty good. You know, Doug Peterson didn't decide to pass and set up the pass when you know that does not work. And, you know, I don't care what league you're in, that's never going to work. It's never a winning formula to pass the ball to set up the pass. You have to run the ball, and that's what he got away from, and that was the biggest problem.
Agreed.
Offense, you know. But I think with Nick Sirianni, he's going to come here, and I see us running the ball 60% of the time. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get that run game back established with this offensive line doing what they do best, and that's make holes. You know, we got some beast up front, you know what I'm saying? And when they make these holes, man, it's going to be hard to stop. And then guess what? You try to throw in the 8 men in the box, we're just going to go over the top of you. Quez Watkins got the Tyreek Hill speed out there. You know, it's going to be hard to see anybody stop him this year. You see what Devonta Smith is doing on the outside. You know, I don't know too many cornerbacks that's going to be able to hang with his stuff out there with his foot action. So, you know, I understand when people tamper it, but tamper it for me, the floor is 10 wins. You know, 7 losses is a lot of losses. And with the 4th place schedule that we have, you know what I'm saying, I don't see us losing more than 7. You know what I'm saying? I got us personally at 12-5. You know, maybe 13-4 if we catch that lightning going good this year. But, like, to me, I just, you know, Jalen Hurts is a leader. He's a winner. He's done everything he has to do during the offseason to make sure that he leads this team to the promised land eventually, whether it's this year, next year, or the year to come. But he's going to be good this year, and I don't see Jalen losing more than 7 games this year. It'll have to, you know, be one of them things like last year. You know, if you even bring back just our offensive line last year, if you take away those injuries alone, we're winning 10 games, you know, 9-10 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, we won 4, you know what I'm saying? You add an offensive line, maybe he ran the ball more with a good offensive line. You know, maybe Carson Wentz not getting hit so much, you know, with a good offensive line. He would have
found a way. He would have found a way. Look, I'm on the Carson Wentz hate train anymore because, I mean, the man straight up gave up on the town, on the team. I mean, he gave up. I mean, and I know he tried to say the right things. And now he's all the way in Indianapolis still giving up again. I have them as a 7-win team this year because there are so many moving pieces. Think about it. This whole offseason, they spent the whole time having the conversation and the debate basically saying, well, is Jalen Hurts going to be the guy? Let's see if we can get Deshaun Watson here. Hey, Nick Foles might not play. Let's get Nick Foles back. They brought in every single possible option, or at least brought it up, of quarterbacks. And Jalen Hurts, like you said, did the right thing and said, I'm here to compete. Like, I'm going to play. Mm-hmm. But that's an organizational mistake. That is an organizational mistake. You can't do that.
But is it that we were really debating all those things? Or was it just the media saying that we were debating all those things?
That's a great question.
You gotta realize the media doesn't control the team. If you listen to Nick Sirianni talk in his press office, he talk about like, hey, I really didn't have to say Jalen was going to be the starter. Jalen knew when he was taking all the first team reps all offseason, when he was one, not sitting and not playing in those preseason games, he knew then. Just because the media wanted us to go out and name him the starter quarterback, Nick Sirianni doesn't care what anybody says. If you haven't noticed that by now, this guy got his plan. He's going to do it his way. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't care the name on the back of your jersey. He don't care what round you were picked. He's in your face, teaching you the right fundamentals of the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the media, that's been our problem the whole offseason where fans have been swaying because they've been listening to the media. They're listening to the media. Media saying this, the media saying that. In reality, the Eagles weren't even tripping off that. And I like the fact that Nick Sirianni is keeping everything a secret because it's keeping everybody guessing. Like, what are the Eagles going to do this year? I wonder, are they going to run more 12 personnel or since they have Zach Ertz, or are they going to run more, 11 personnel? You know what I'm saying? We got 21 personnel coming this year. We're going to be running a lot more two-back sets. You know what I'm saying? Our defense, what are we? A 4-3 or 3-4?
Yeah.
Why show any of that if you don't have to the first season? One key thing that what the fans need to have been watching was every time we had a joint practice, these last 2 joint practices. Yes, the preseason game itself looked vanilla and wasn't that great. Yes, I agree. But the 2 practices before, for the people that did watch this, what was the number one thing you heard about it? Jalen Hurts and the starters all balled out. You know what I'm saying? They balled out 2 practices in a row for 2 preseasons in a row. And I know it's just practice, but that's where you got all your work in.
We're talking about practice.
Yeah, that's where you got all your work in. That's where the starters were able to go ones versus ones, another team, best players. These guys aren't on the same team. They're trying to win a job. They're out there playing their hearts out, trying to, win position. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they were going hard. They were tackling, but it was in a safe environment to keep, the players healthy. Like, I hope next year we even go to 4 joint practices, you know what I'm saying, where you can just use the preseason to evaluate the back end of your talent, because you've seen how many star players went down this offseason, running these vanilla offices. And I'll be mad as heck if one of my star players went out because they were running some vanilla defense, let me just stand there and not blitz and not do nothing. That's where the injuries come from. That's where all the, and this is the first year in the last, 3 years that we're going into.
That we're healthy.
With all of our stars. So what he's doing to me, he's showing me that he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doubting him. I like when he does his press conference. You can kind of tell he likes the fact that everybody's doubting him. This is the first year that Eagles team have all been hating on in the offseason, the whole offseason.
Yeah.
Everybody's been giving us crap, saying we suck, saying we ain't going to do nothing like that. And the team is just responding like straight G's. You know what I'm saying? And they are not blinking an eye and they ain't tripping. You hear all these players so confident in their press conferences. You know what I'm saying? They're all sitting there like, okay. Oh, I dropped something like Devonta, his first game back when he dropped it. Yeah, maybe I just need to go sit on the drugs a little longer. These guys got swag coming off.
Yeah, there's a confidence.
There's a new era. The rent's due, every day, and these guys are paying. Now the coach is even saying it. You know what I'm saying? As long as we make our deposits every single day, we gonna be fine. So I think all that together, the fire is already burnt in Philadelphia, and we are coming out smoking. You got to look at all these one-year contracts. These guys are playing for contracts next year. You know what I'm saying? And they're at all the key positions that we were weak at. Safety we were weak at. What we do, we go get Anthony Harris to come over from Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? 1 year deal, prove it deal. Hopefully we re-sign him because he plays good and we re-sign him.
I love Anthony Harris, man.
I love Anthony Harris myself. You got Wilson coming over from the Vikings. Another 1 year deal. These guys came here for less money than what they probably could have got other places. You know why? Because it's a system. it's an easier fit for them. They already know the scheme here. You know what I'm saying? So they can come here and ball out. So hopefully, even if they're not here next year, they can get that fat contract that they want to get. You got Steven Nelson. We need another cornerback. We went out and got Steven Nelson. He was on the market for a while. I'm not really high on Steven Nelson myself.
Okay.
I'm more prove it to me Nelson type guy because he talks a lot of talk, but what I've heard from the practice, he's the only one out there getting burned. Out of our starting cornerback, he's the only one out there. So I want to see Steven Nelson do better. We had an electrifying draft. We got Milton Williams out there, a beast playing 2 positions. You know what I'm saying? That adds even more depth to our defensive line. That it's like, where is the weak point of our defense? You could say second corner, third corner, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But Devonta Smith also plays better in the slot than he does on the outside. So he's actually in a position that, these players are getting back to positions that they need to be in. Positions, they're not getting forced outside. Like last year, we're forcing players into positions that they didn't belong in, and they were not even getting help in those positions. So, that's why I'm really hyped on this team, man. I think, like I said before, the veterans are where they need to be. Offense and defensive line, it always starts in the trenches. And they definitely are, veterans there with quality backups backing them up this year. And, all those guys were rookies last year. So that's why when you see them have to get forced into action without all that training camp and stuff, they look kind of sloppy. They're rookies, they didn't get no offseason. They didn't get anything. But, coming into this year, all of them have had offseason. You've seen them all improve. Jack Driscoll gained 15 pounds of rib because he knew the only problem he had last year was getting pushed around. Herbert was too fat, so he knew he lost 40 pounds.
He lost those pounds, right?
He lost those pounds to make sure he can move a little better. Like, all these guys got a mission. No one wants to be the weak link, and I think that's the reason why the Birds are winning double digits.
Yeah, and look, hearing everything you're saying, like I agree with you on some points. Looking at how this team had their offseason, look, I judge an offseason real simply. Is the team better for week 1 than they were when they ended the season? Unequivocally, you can say, yes, this team is better. Unequivocally, you can say, yes, that this team is better than the team that walked off the field at the end of last season. We have a healthy offensive line, and we have, honestly, in my opinion, the top offensive line in football when healthy. Pound for pound, right across the board, we have the best offensive line when healthy in football. The phrase that I keep using, though, is when healthy. You mentioned it, Darius Slay and Steven Nelson, those 2 corners. We haven't had great corners like that since our Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown days. And before that, it was, Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor. Like, when we have 2 really good cornerbacks, the defense does its job. My concern is the 3rd cornerback, the 4th linebacker, the 5th defensive lineman, because our team, while our starters are good, if they get hurt, we do not have the backups. We do not have the backups.
The line we do. We got
on the D line we do. On the defensive line we do.
Of good boys rotating in on that defensive line. Now our linebackers, you can say it's question, but we've seen the potential of Davion Taylor. You know what I'm saying? He's coming back from health. You've seen Sean Bradley play some decent football in the preseason. So that's good. Like you said, the 2nd, the 3rd, 4th cornerback, like we said, hopefully they don't even have to play. Period.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
But if not, you got to look at, we do not run the same defense we used to. That's the reason why the cornerbacks looked so garbage, was because they were not getting help. They were thrown on these islands with no help. You know what I'm saying? Even the best, you look at Darius Slay, won a Pro Bowl, one of the best, cornerbacks in the league. Without help, even he gets beat. You know what I'm saying? But with our new defense, we're going to have safety help over the top. And we went and got a ball hawking safety like Harris. So
I know. I love Anthony Harris.
I don't feel like the cornerbacks are an issue as they were last year. You know what I'm saying? Last year with no help, that's a big problem. If we came back this year with the same defense, even with Anthony Harris, it would still be a big problem. But with having Anthony Harris and Rodney McLeod hopefully playing by week 2, you know what I'm saying? Our secondary should be fine back there. You know what I'm saying? They definitely should be fine back there. And even if you want to put McPherson back there, hey, let the rookie catch some lumps. But guess what? If he has help, he will play. It won't be as bad. And with our defensive line being even upgraded from last year, bringing in Carey from Washington, he had 6.5 sacks lacks year or 5.5, something like that.
He was brought in for the Chris Long of it all.
Yeah. Exactly. So, like I like the weaknesses, I think if you look at our team as opposed to last year weaknesses, you know what I'm saying? Those weaknesses just from a new defensive scheme can be covered up. The fact that we're blitzing this year, what I'm saying? We didn't blitz in the Jim Torson Y9 defense. We barely ever blitzed. Having a new scheme now where we're going to be blitzing safeties, cornerbacks, linebackers. We kept 7 linebackers for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, like, why we have 7? Why we have 7? Well, you know why we have 7? Because if you're running a 3-4 in a 4-3 defense,
right?
Obviously, I mean 3-4, you need 4 linebackers. You know what I'm saying?
That's yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So that's 4 right there. And those linebackers, those 2 in linebackers might not be the same as your 4-3 third linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So that's what? That's 5 linebackers right there by themselves. Then you need 2 guys to come in if anybody gets hurt. So 7 is not really that many when you're running multiple sets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Multiple teams. And then like having guys like Avery and Johnson be that,
those hybrid players, yep.
4-3 hybrid players out there, that's going to help out our defense a lot more too, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I think a lot of the doubt, which obviously, we have to play the game, period. You know what I'm saying? We do have to play the game, but I feel like they went in and they attacked and they got the players necessary to do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you look at our weak division and all the divisions higher, all the teams higher in our division that were higher last year, they're having a harder schedule than we do, to try to make it to the promised land. So,
look, I look at the team, and like I said, the way that this team attacked the offseason, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. They addressed every issue. Hell, even trading for Gardner Minshew when they saw that they didn't have a good quality backup quarterback, I have no problem with that. Now, for all these fools who are like, well, Gardner Minshew is going to be the starter, y'all can shut up because Jalen Hurts is the starter. Shut up. Stop trying to make issues out of nothing. Jalen Hurts is the starter. Shut up. If anything, we can now put Joe Flacco on trade bait and see if anyone is dumb enough to take him like they took Matt Pryor. The fact that they got Matt Pryor off our hands, I will always thank you. Thank you, Indianapolis, for taking 2 of our problem children off of our hands. But all I'm saying is this. Obviously, I would like us to go 17-0 and host a Lombardi at the end of it all. That's the fan in me.
Is it likely? No, but is it possible? Yes.
Of course, because they haven't played the first game yet. Absolutely. Every team can go 17-0. The Detroit Lions can go 17-0 and bite all the damn kneecaps they want. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that they said they had. This team was a 4-win team last season. So while it is possible to jump from 4 to 12 wins like you're predicting, and listen, I'll be the first one to come back and be like, yo, thank you for being right, because let's go Birds. We're going to – I just feel like a jump from 4 to 7 wins is more likely, and it sets – look, even when Andy Reid came in –
7 wins. For real, like how about far back do you have to go to see 7-win season from the Birds? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, not too far back. Didn't we barely squeak into the playoffs the one season? And
2016 or 15?
It wasn't that long ago.
Like, but I'm saying recently we've been winning. Even that year before the 4-game win, we were still 9-7.
Right, but that's my point. The NFC East is weak enough where we can get in.
Wrong to get to 4 games only, and you got to think we could have even won that Washington game. We should have. We should have. We tanked that one on purpose. You can tell when you throw Nate Sudfeld right after Jalen Hurts scores 2 touchdowns before the half, man. That is a tank job. You know what I'm saying? We could have been 5
It was embarrassing.
Easily. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple other games, the Cardinal games, we could have won that game if our defense could have held up. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple, but we were playing with the B team and some positions, the C team, and a 3rd and 4th lineman. Lineman. So with what we did at the end of the season, that should have been like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? This team has potential. We know these guys are no 4-win team. These players are way too good on our roster to even think about 4, 5, 6 wins. You know what I'm saying?
If they're used right. And that's what I'm excited to see. I'm excited. So even way back when Andy Reid began coaching the Eagles, he took over at, what was it, a 3-win team, a 2-win team, something garbage-wise. He bumped them up a couple games. But it was that next season. You have to have that season where you lay the groundwork of, this is what I expect my team to do, and you're not a part of it, so you're gone. And now we have the next draft. We have the next free agency. I'm going to bring in my guys. This season for Nick Sirianni is where he lays the groundwork and basically takes inventory the whole season of, look, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is not going to be one of my guys. Jack Stoll, our third-string tight end, you know what? He might be one of my guys. Let me give him some chances here. Kenny Gainwell, we drafted him. We're really high on him. This season is the inventory season. And if they win 7 or 8 or 17 games, I'm cool with all of it. As long as here's all I'm judging them on this season. Playoffs, that's extra. And look, if we make the playoffs, I'm gonna love it. If we go further in the playoffs, I'm gonna love it. If we win the division, I'm gonna love it. If we get the wild card, I'm gonna love it. I am judging them on one thing this season. We have our first game of the season on Sunday. I'm going to look at what this team is. And then week 17, I'm going to look at that same exact team. Did they get better than they played in week 1? If that answer is yes, the season was a success. That's the only thing I'm judging this team on.
I feel you. I feel you on that. That's a good way to look at it too. But I'm looking at it like this. If you're keeping that many secrets to go into week 1, my guy, it better be explosive. You better have some plays I've never seen. You better be running some defensive I've never seen, come from this Eagle. You better be blitzing. You better have all your star players doing star things all game long, because this is not Nick Sirianni shouldn't be doing all this extra stuff if it's going to be the same type of team. Like if we go in here, barely beat Atlanta, say it's like 14-10 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If we go to the next game, barely win whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like that is not going to be a good season. I'm not going to look at it, because we're not going to get better as it goes. The games get harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Tampa Bay coming up. You got KC coming up. Like, you got the Cowgirls coming up. You're going to have a lot of harder teams. Like, if you can't beat these first 2 Niners and Atlanta because you've been keeping all these secrets that none of us have seen and we're mad that we haven't watched, man, Nick Sirianni, you better watch her. I'm not going to say you're going to get fired, but you better watch out, because
he's not.
You're keeping us on pause for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
The only thing I see you can be able to do out of that is by be explosive the first 2 weeks. I'm expecting explosion the first game.
Just like remember,
31-10 explosion Eagles.
Nothing is going to be as bad as watching a Doug Peterson offense. So no matter what, remember, we went from Chip Kelly, who his offense was that explosive, but then he refused to change anything as the National Football League caught on. Right? He didn't change anything. That's why Chip Kelly got run out of town. He tried to turn the Eagles into the Philadelphia Oregon Ducks. So that's what didn't work for him. Then you bring in Doug Peterson, who was the complete opposite. He was the complete opposite, and he did nothing exciting. Look, even the biggest play in Philadelphia sports history, Philly, was called by the quarterback. And Doug Peterson was like, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do that. And I'll get all this credit for it, and I'll get a statue. Doug Peterson was not the guy. So no matter what happens on Sunday, we're going to see a more explosive offense than we have seen over the last 3 seasons. So that is exciting no matter what.
And what you said, like, see, that's the trend too. That's another point I'm making about Nick Sirianni. Like you said, Doug, I feel like he won a Super Bowl. Like, don't get me wrong. I love that Super Bowl, baby. I would not take anything in the world. I love it. But for me, in his coaching career, he won it too early. It gave him too big. You know what I'm saying? So where he became like Chip, he didn't want to change his stuff up. You know what I'm saying? He let go of Frank Wright, who was, helping him out, helping them call a good offensive game plan. He let him go, Andy Reid did that too here back in Philadelphia, where he got too stubborn. And what he do once he go to Kansas City, he learned in order for him to win a championship, maybe he need to take a step back and just be the head coach, and let his offensive coordinator run the, call the offense, you know what I'm saying, doing things like that. So the pattern is coaches that got stuck in their ways and didn't want to change the Eagles. Now, if these coaches do what they say they're going to do, you know what I'm saying, these guys are saying they're changing schemes week to week, depending on who they play and what players they have available. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, for me, it's like that can't be, you can't, pick up on that. That is something that you can't pick up on. Because if you're playing a team that sucks at the, stopping the run, you're going to be running the ball down their throat the whole game long. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yes, there's going to be some pass games. But if you had a team that's, stout up front, you're going to be passing the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're really adjusting week by week, that's going to be the real deal breaker with us. And it could make him coach of the year. You know what I'm saying?
It
It's that
could.
good.
Look, if he all of a sudden rattles off 13, 14 wins, he's absolutely in conversation for coach of the year because he took a 4-win team and exponentially improved them. Look, I coach middle school football. Do we have our offense that we like to run? Absolutely. I coach 8th grade middle school football. So I get a new team top to bottom every year. If I don't have a mobile quarterback, I'm not putting in an offense that requires a mobile quarterback. If I don't have a quarterback that can read a defense, I'm not throwing the ball 30 times a game. You have to go with the players that you have. That was the defense's issue last year. They were 30 yards off of coverage on the corners instead of pressing them at the line. So what did every offense that we played against? 5-yard slants, 5-yard slants, 5-yard slants. And
I hated it.
And we were terrible at tackling. So it was huge gains. I mean, you have to adjust for what you have. I feel like Nick Sirianni has done that. So now it's just seeing if the talent level overall is there. And I hope it is. I can't stop saying this. I want, with my 7-10 prediction for the season, I want to be as wrong as I have ever been in my entire life. I want to be as wrong as saying that Johnny Manziel was going to be a great Sunday quarterback someday, because there is a tweet in Twitter somewhere that has me saying that. There's a tweet somewhere that has me saying that Sam Darnold is going to be a professional, great quarterback. I want to have a bad Twitter take about them being 7-10 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if they're going to be.
Yeah, but see, I'm just on a boat where it's like, I know we had all off season to be skeptical. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did. We have it all. But now it's coming up on week 1. It's time to get on the train. You know what I'm saying? I'm
here.
A really big positive energy type guy. And
I love that.
We're all out there giving the energy, saying that our Birds are going to be the best team in the league, whether they are or not. Our team's going to be the best team in the league, and to prove otherwise, there's not going to be one game that none of us are going to go into this year thinking, oh, our team's going to lose this game. You know what I'm saying? I hope that everybody's going to every single game thinking we have a chance to win.
Well, we got to do some things then before Kansas City and Tampa Bay, because right now I'm looking at those two with some L's on my personal schedule.
Andy Reid got to go down. That's why I really have that upset coming up. You know what I'm saying? He's beaten us all the time since he left. And, you know, eventually that trend has to stop. And I believe this is going to be the year of that one.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Tampa Bay, now they do have some people, but everybody know if you get to Tom Brady,
that's it.
You got a chance to win. And with our defensive front that we got, I think we have a chance to win that game too, man. Like, whether we win, I don't know. You know, that's why I said
I just want every game.
12-5. You get Tampa Bay, even if you want to say Tampa Bay, if you want to say Kansas City, and then after that, you know, I have like maybe losing to San Diego. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at 1 or 2 division losses, and that's my 5
every
losses.
year. Yeah.
You know, that's my 5 losses. Other than that, the rest of the schedule is looking pretty nice to win. Like, we should be beating those teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should beat the Detroits. We should beat the Denver Broncos. We should beat the Niners. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I need to be better this season. I do not want another year of playing down to the level of my opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When we go out and play Detroit is a bad football team. I want to go and smack Detroit around. When we go out and we play Las Vegas, look, Las Vegas is not a great football team, and they are so distracted by everything going on around them. I want to smack them down. I don't want any games that are too close because of we're playing to their level. I want games that are close because we're playing up to the level of excellent football teams. There is a very big difference. If we are in a 3-point game with New Orleans quarterback by Jameis Winston, that's not a good job.
No.
That's not a good job.
Yeah.
If we're in a 3-point game with Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a team quarterback by Tom Brady and they just hoisted a Super Bowl, I can live with that.
Yes. And see, they're coming off of the short week, too. That's another advantage that I think we have on the Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is an advantage I think that's going to go it can go our way. You know, but just like you said, like, if we're playing to the potential that we should be playing, man, there should be no reasons why we should have these. You know, and that's the reason why I'm down on, like, whenever the 6 or 7 win teams, like, with people that think 9, 10, okay, that's to me, even 9 games, that means you lost 8 games. You know what I'm saying? That means that's a lot of football games, a lot of Sundays where you're going to be like, man, we didn't do it. Man, you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. So like that's why I'm like a little bit more down on the people with the the 8, the 7, the 6s, because I think they're still basing it off of last year's team.
100%. I know I am. I know I am, because that's all I know. I haven't seen anything otherwise other than I know Jalen Hurts is a great leader.
We have
and that we have a better head coach than we do.
And team in general.
And then we're healthy. Like I know all of those things. But as far as, are we going to click? Mm-hmm. Are these guys going to stay healthy? Because history has shown, look, Brandon Brooks, in my opinion, could be a Hall of Fame right guard.
Yes.
If he could just stay healthy.
Right.
If he could just stay healthy. And that's, of course, I am basing it off a little bit of last year, and I'm basing some of these predictions off of last year's team, and I want to be wrong. My goal is to be wrong this season. Let me be wrong in my 7-10-ness. I've locked in at 7-10, but let me be wrong.
Okay.
I want to be wrong.
Okay. I'm gonna let you be wrong.
I'm going to be. I would love to be wrong.
I'd rather even be, like I said, like for me, that's why I give you a floor and a ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
For my ceiling. That's the best, and we have the best possible season I think this team can put together, 13-4. The worst possible season I'm hoping that we have at all is 10-7. You know what I'm saying? So anything in the middle of that's awesome. Anything below that, obviously, I'm gonna be sad. But if we made the playoffs at 9-7, 9-7, right? No, 9-8. Because
we can make the playoffs at 7-10 as long as we win all of the NFC East games.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? The NFC East is so winnable, and I know people are always ragging on it, but look, the Giants are bad, like really bad. Mm-hmm. The Cowgirls are as good as Dak Prescott's ankle is, and shoulder, his ankle and shoulder. I think the only and the same thing though, they went out and they got a whole bunch of defensive players. So do they click? Because they went defensive heavy in the draft. Mm-hmm. They saw all of their issues and addressed it. Mm-hmm. Do those players click? And then you look at the only team that I think is really legitimately has a chance to compete with us in the NFC East. It's Washington, because their defense is incredible. Look, Chase Young is defensive player of the year.
That was so incredible that everybody keeps talking about. That's why I don't give him that much love, because that's the same defense we played last year and could have beat in week 17 with our B team. When we have 4th-string linemen and we were dominating that awesome defensive line. They had their starters in that game. You know what I'm saying? That was a good defense that we had our B team in, and we still could have won it if we decided to.
Because Washington played down to our level that game, 100%. And then when we lowered our level even further, they went, "Oh, I guess they're just going to let us win this." Mm-hmm. Okay, that was not a competitive football game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that wasn't a competitive football game. I hated every second of that.
But, that's what I'm saying, like, to be so dominant on that line, like I said. And I think Ryan Kerrigan was a bigger piece than they know about, and people realize he was. He only played 30% of the snaps, and he still ended up with just as many, sacks, almost, one off or 2 off. Than Mr.
he was efficient. He was really efficient last year.
Chase Young over there that everybody give all this elite praise to. Like it's not like their defense is so good that you can't be touched. You know what I'm saying? With our offensive line fully healthy, if our 3rd and 4th string line can do that to that awesome defensive line, what do you think our starters are going to do to that line? They're going to eat them up all day.
I hope. I hope we don't play them for a really long time. We don't play them for a really long time, so I'm going to need us to still be healthy by that time.
Yeah, that's true. But right now,
we don't play them. We don't play them till December.
Yeah. That's true. So we got the health bug is always going to be an issue, but like right now, we're seeing it being fixed right now. All we can do is go off what we can, and what we can is knowing this is the first time we're going into the game. You know what I'm saying? Fully healthy, first game of the season. Knock on wood, saying these next week of training camp when they're out there preparing for the Atlanta.
I think they'll be fine because. So you saw over the last couple seasons a lot of soft tissue injuries and just basically being soft because they didn't practice hard. So then when they got to the game and they got that first, real pop, they were like, "Oh, I'm hurt." Yeah, because your body's you haven't built up an acclimation to it. That's why even in Pee Wee football, you have 2 to 3 weeks of
Yes.
heat acclimation and hitting. Okay,
Hell.
first we're gonna start with just the the helmets on, then we're gonna add the shoulder pads, then we're gonna add the full thing. We're gonna start hitting each other a little bit. Doug Peterson didn't do that. It was all the practices were like, let's go out and have ice cream.
And you got to look at too, since they took that method and won that Super Bowl that way with all these older veteran players, they let that ride on to the next. That was not a winning formula, like to stay consistently winning. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys were all getting babied, man. You had these guys
big time
practicing. Peters wasn't even practicing ever. You got all these guys, taking veteran days off during the week. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the reason why.
That was crazy to me.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous, And with these young players now, these guys are hungry and they're out there practicing. They're out there hitting, you know what I'm saying? They're out there moving around. And I think, like you said before, you have to build that callus in the offseason. I remember Hell Week, man. I played all the way up to 7, Like that is definitely what you need, you know what I'm saying? Get your soft tissue. Like when Devonta Smith got hurt, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's fine for me. Because you seen what he did all offseason. That's okay. Him moving too fast, maybe doing the wrong cut on practice. This is the time for that. He just got back to camp. You know what I'm saying?
But
that's the time.
I loved with him. He was hurt. What was he still doing? He was standing next to the machine, catching him, chucking him, catching him, chucking him. Look, you can't tell me that Deshaun Jackson did that last season. He went down and he was like, all right, I'm out. Peace. I'm going to go live up my Hollywood lifestyle, right? I'm going to go do all the things. Oh, you should have gotten the surgery. Man, you could have told me that already. I would have been. So I think, like you said, the young players are hungry. And because of that, it's revitalizing and it's recharging some of the older guys. Hearing Zach Ertz go, I have been doing this one thing wrong my whole career, and they've just corrected me. I'm like, hell yeah, they corrected him. Let's go. Learn a new skill.
Right.
I'm fine with it. And like I said, the fact that Kelsey's back, that all these guys want to stick around for another couple of seasons, that to me says that this coaching staff inspires something. Yes. I'm cool with it.
Yes. Let's get to this week 1 matchup in Atlanta. Who are you worried about most on the Falcons?
So, again, I'm stuck with PTSD from last year, right? And anytime we would go against a tight end that could catch the goddamn ball, Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. I mean, he finds open guys. He is a good quarterback. I am worried that Kyle Pitts in his NFL debut is absolutely going to torch us. That's the one fear that I have. Now, mind you, there's no Julio Jones to bail you out anymore. So Calvin Ridley is not Julio Jones.
No.
Which means they are going to target players like Kyle Pitts, which means our linebackers and safeties have to flock to the ball. And our D-line's got to get in there. But I think Kyle Pitts could have a big day on Sunday.
Yeah. See, my theory on Pitts is like this. This guy is still a rookie. You know what I'm saying? He's still a rookie. I think if we had Atlanta week 4, week 5, week 6, he would be more of a threat for me in our defense, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we still got the veterans back there in the defense. They're going to know how to mix it up with him, disguise some things that he's never seen before. So I'm not worried so much about Kyle Pitts' very first game in his NFL career. Like I said, if it was later, yes, I would definitely be, he's on my fantasy team. I ain't going to lie. The boy got talent.
He's on one of my 3. Yeah. He's on one of my 3.
So it's like, I'm not saying he don't got the talent to be dangerous, but I'm just saying his very first game, I'm not as worried about him. But I will say, that Mr. Ridley over there, he is a route running specialist out there, and that is the biggest thing on offense that I'm worried about. I think Ridley if Matt Ryan has time, which I don't think he's going to have too much, to be honest with our time, but if he can get time to get out there, just like we think Devonta Smith can get open, they come from the same school, they come from the same pedigree. Both of these guys can run routes very smoothly and very crisp. Hell, you heard Quez Watkins say he gave props to Ridley for teaching him how to run routes, this offseason. You know what I'm saying? And Quez obviously got a lot better at route running. And Ridley is definitely no slouch when it comes to that route running. So I am worried about Ridley, but I don't think one player can beat us because you look at their defense. Who's good on that defense? Jones. The linebacker Jones is the only guy. And for you to say that that's your only guy to have to worry about on that defense, man, I think we can run up the, we can run up the score if we really want to. It can be a run. Everybody's like, it's gonna be the first game. It's gonna be close, and that is possible because first time head coach, first time doing it. If you want to go off traditional rules, that is possible. But I really think if we're gonna go in Atlanta, we're gonna run that score up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm cool with it.
That defense, how are you gonna stop our young guns? You know what I'm saying? All them guys on the field at the same time. I don't think they have enough pieces on defense to stop us. Consistently.
So it's interesting that you say that because it's also Devonta Smith's first NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at a guy like Smith and I'm like, look, I hope he has a couple catches, but he might take some time. Look, he's going to feel what it's like to be jammed off the line. Like they're not going to let him get 2-3 yards without knocking him down first is how quickly he pops back up. But I think more important is,
if you notice in the preseason, that's where people are messing up. They think because he's small, you can jam him. Like, Devonta Smith been going against the best cornerback in the
whole
SEC,
career,
which is the best cornerbacks in the league right now. Because most of them all came from the SEC. You know what I'm saying? He's been going against these guys for his whole career in college. Like, you got the dude that they just got drafted, Surtains. You got the guy that's in the what the hell? Oh, what's that boy's name? Diggs and all these other guys, that are elite cornerbacks. These guys, all Devonta Smith already burned. He's already done roasted them. You know what I'm saying? He already done went against him. Like, the big thing is people are going to try to jam him, and that's going to make him more wide open. Because off the line, man, that foot action is dangerous. That's dangerous. I think that everybody's going to try to use that as their advantage. Like, oh, he's a little guy. I'm trying to jam him on this line of scrimmage, and as soon as you put your arms out, you can get left. And that's going to be easy touchdowns all day. Like, Jalen Hurts has a chance to be a dark horse MVP without even having to really do anything. All he has to do is manage the offense the right way. Run your little RPOs when you need to run the RPOs and dish it to the opening guy when they're open. Like, a lot of our big plays aren't going to be, sitting back there, 7-step drop, 60-yard bombs or touchdown. They're going to be hike the ball, fake run, boom, 5-yard slants, 10-yard slants, post over the middle. Touchdowns, because people are going to be wide open.
So it's interesting that you brought up the defense. So I did my quick, pull up their depth chart over here.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't score 30 points on this team,
right,
it's a problem. So here is the starting cornerbacks that we're going against. AJ Terrell. This is based off the Atlanta Falcons depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Terrell is one of the cornerbacks. Fabian Moreau is the other corner. Your safeties are Eric Harris and Duron Harmon. I don't know who any of those guys are.
Just AJ Terrell, he hasn't even been playing that great.
Right. Your backups are Kendall Sheffield, Isaiah Oliver, Darren Hall, Avery Williams. I mean, none of these guys inspire fear.
What's their defensive line look like?
Grady Jarrett, Tyler Davison, Jonathan Bullard, and John Kaminsky. They have 5 guys total on their defensive line.
Oh, my God. And it's going to be.
And then their linebackers are Jacob Toyde Mariner, Deion Jones, and Fosadi Olukun. And
Deion
Stephen
Jones
Means
was like the only name that is
I even knew
relevance at all. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling everybody think it's going to be some hard first game. I think this is the perfect first game to start out the season with because you got enough, young talent on. But who's their running back too? Who's starting for them?
Mike Davis. Backup is Cordell Patterson. I'm not afraid.
Not afraid at all, Mike Davis. He's had a couple of good games, but he's older. Not worried about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we have the 2 young guys at receiver, and tight end to help, see if they can mix up and get some passes. And then Justin Gage is another guy I think people are kind of sleeping on a little bit. That guy can get open. That guy's played some good football too. So, but yeah, like I said, those guys don't scare me at all, and I don't think it should even be a close game. I
do not think it should be a close game.
That's why I said 31-10 is my score. I'm giving them a touchdown and a field goal, and that's about it. I can give them because I don't think their defense is going to be able to stop us. I think we might have a slow first quarter. Getting everybody into acclimating to the game. You know what I'm saying? A couple 3-and-outs early. But after that, once we start clicking, man, it's going to be like touchdown. Because, like you just said.
Listen, I'm taking your positivity because I want it because I'm so used to this Eagles team playing down to the level of their opponents. if they play down to this Atlanta Falcons team and we somehow lose this game because we played down to this no-name defense, I'm going to have a problem with it.
Yeah, we lose to that defense, man. Sirianni, man, I'm questioning you the rest of the season for sure.
Yeah.
You can't beat a no-name defense like that. That would definitely.
And that is, they are a no-name defense.
Huge problem. What are you going to do when you go to next week to San Francisco? You know what I'm saying? Like, they got names on their defense. They got some big names on their defense. And that's why to make me feel comfortable, we need to go blow the doors off Atlanta.
Yeah, we got to put something on film that puts the fans at ease and puts the league in fear.
Yes. Because that's the team.
And that's it.
That's the team to do it for sure. And what's your score prediction you said it was going to be?
I mean, I'll give it a little bit more because of the moving pieces, but I got it like 31-17. I'll give Atlanta because it's still Matt Ryan who can find anybody open at any point. So I'll give him a little bit more, but I'm going 31-17.
Nice, man. Hey, shout out to the 10 that are still in the chat. If you have not hit that
like
button, please hit that like button now and subscribe to my boy here, Chip Keggy, from Chips and Dish. His link is in the comments above. So go up there right now, go click on it and go subscribe to my guy. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely putting out some fire content. If you guys want any watches, you got birthdays coming up. If you got any kind of celebration where you buy someone a gift, go get them a La Terrain watch, man. 10% off using BIRDGANG31 promo code. You know what I'm saying? We partnered up. We got our first sponsorship. Let's go help these guys sell some of them watches, my guy.
I like it. I dig it.
So at the end of my shows, all my first guests, I like to have their all-time Eagles team. This is your team. No wrong answers. All right, because they are from our team, the Birds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start it out. I'm going to let you know the position, how many of them I need, and we can go on from there. So we're starting out with the quarterback. Give me your starting quarterback on your all-time Eagles team and his backup. Who's it going to be?
All right. So I think if you're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles franchise, the greatest quarterback to ever play for the team was Donovan McNabb. You had unprecedented levels of success as him quarterbacking the team. They never got over the hump and won the Super Bowl, but you can't argue with the NFC championships and the NFC East title. I mean, Donovan McNabb, he should be a Hall of Famer if he didn't go elsewhere. If he had won the Super Bowl, it would have been a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. Your backup is the greatest backup in the history of sports. It's Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, baby.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest backup in the history of sports, and he is the. So you look at Nick Foles, and if you look at his whole career, you couldn't put him on this list. But if you're saying as an Eagle, he's been an incredible Eagle.
Oh yeah, remember the 27-2, or was it 20?
Yeah,
27 or 29-2, one of those two.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, he set historic numbers.
I was sitting next to his parents. When he threw that 7-touchdown game in Oakland, man, it was a great game, man. His parents were so proud of him. I was so proud. Like, Nicky, dude, interceptions the whole season, man.
Yeah, that was something special.
Props right there. That's mad props right there. All right, let's get 3 running backs from you.
All right, 3 running backs. So, again, I was a 1986 born kid, so I never saw Wilbur Montgomery play.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking all-time Eagles great running backs. You have to put him on the list, followed by LaShawn McCoy and Brian Westbrook.
Nice.
Almost just for my own personal love of the guy, put Ricky Waters just because I love me some Ricky Waters. Yeah. I love me some Ricky Waters. But LaShawn McCoy and Brian Westbrook.
Yeah.
Deuce is my favorite running back of all time. I've met the guy. He's so nice. I'm excited for him to have success. But LaShawn McCoy and Brian Westbrook changed the position.
Yes. Facts.
So you can't argue with having them there.
Yes. 2 tight ends, my guy.
Brent Selleck and Zach Ertz.
Always a favorite right there. Those 2 always come in the clutch. Give me 4 receivers.
All right, same thing. Never saw Harold Carmichael play. Never saw Mike Quick play. Those are 2 guys. I mean, again, Eagles legends. My other 2 are T.O. and Deshaun Jackson. Woo! Deshaun Jackson. I love Deshaun Jackson when he's healthy. Same thing. Changed the position. You're talking swag. You're talking greatness. And then you talk T.O.
Yeah.
I look, I would rather have kept T.O. than McNabb when all that was going down
Mhm.
because T.O. was a
Dominating.
game changer. He was a no-questioned Hall of Famer. The season that we made the Super Bowl, it was entirely because of Terrell Owens changing that position. All Donovan McNabb needed was a number one receiver.
Yeah.
And then even in the Super Bowl on a broken goddamn ankle.
Dominated.
I mean, you T.O., short-lived, but man, what a ride.
Nice. Who's starting that offensive line?
All right, so it's not tackles and like it's not like a five. Like this five could never play together because I got three tackles and two centers on here.
Well, you got JPP. You know what I'm saying? He got paid for both. So if you want to move him into a
there you go. All right, so Jason Kelsey is my starting center,
right?
Because I mean, you talk about it, same thing. Revolutionize the position, letting you know that you could be a smaller guy and get out on the edge and just go and clean clock. John Runyon and Trey Thomas. You don't have all that success in the early 2000s without those two guys as your bookends.
Right.
You just don't. Michael Strahan doesn't make the Hall of Fame without all those battles with John Runyon. He doesn't. Right. Jason Peters is on there because his time as an Eagle was great until it wasn't. And then, fly away, sir. Fly away.
Getting that check. He was just,
fly away, sir.
He was moving us for those checks, baby. He was moving us for those checks.
Fleeced us, man. Mm-hmm. Fleeced us. And then just a personal favorite of mine, Hank Fraley.
Fraley.
My man's nickname was Jiggles.
Yes.
Yes.
Fraley was
just a personal favorite.
Yeah, I like Fraley. I think, you know what I'm saying, if there wasn't a Kelsey, he would definitely be there as the all-time Eagle great center.
Yeah.
Let's go to the defensive line. Give me 4 defensive linemen.
I mean, this is tough. I snuck in a fifth. I'm gonna be honest. We're running a 5-2. We're running a 5-2 scheme up in here.
We can do that.
Trent Cole, Hugh Douglas, right?
Ooh.
Those two guys, incredible. You have to put Reggie White because he is the greatest defensive end in NFL history.
Yes.
And the fact that he had played a couple seasons with us is great.
Yes.
And then Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. I mean, look, obviously I'm erring more towards the guys that I know.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham helps win the Super Bowl. Fletcher Cox has been an absolute destructive menace at the D tackle position. Hall of Famer for his position. I mean, those 5 guys, look, Hugh Douglas is a personal favorite of mine. And then the other 5, there's no question. Or the other 4, there's no question they belong there.
Right. Give me 3 linebackers.
Same thing. Never saw Chuck Bednarik, but I know he was pretty damn good at what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Joyner, part of that Reggie White monstrosity defense. And then Jeremiah Trotter, man. How can you not have Trotter on the list? And now his kid is playing at Clemson. I'm like, please give me another Trotter on this Philadelphia Eagles team in a couple of years.
Right. That's awesome. Give me 3 cornerbacks.
So you go Eric Allen, who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor. Those two, again, I mentioned it earlier in the show. Those 2 bookends, you don't go anywhere without those 2 guys, which then transferred into the Lito Shepherds and the Sheldon Brown bookends. Yes. You have to have 2 good to great corners on your team in order to be great. This, Revis Island nonsense, it never worked because they just threw to the other side. Whichever side Darrell Revis was on, they threw to the other side. Whatever side Darius Slay was on, they threw to the other side.
They picked on the number 2 cornerback last year. We won't mess with Slade too much, You
gotta have 2, and that's why it's Vincent and Bobby Taylor for me.
Yes. Okay, give me 3 safeties.
Never saw Andre Waters. Knew he's up there though in the excellence level.
Yes.
I saw Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, you win a Super Bowl because of him.
Yes.
You win a Super Bowl because of him. And then,
game.
I don't even need to say the last one. I mean, it's Brian Dawkins.
Wolverine in the house.
It's Brian Dawkins, my all-time favorite Eagle of all the times. He is the greatest Philadelphia Eagle ever.
Nice. Who's your kicking?
David Akers. Dave Akers, man. It can't be anybody else. I mean, look, we had, Gary Anderson up in here for a while, and he was cool. I could have said Chris Bonio. That was a great time.
Yeah.
Could have said Cody Parkey. Could say Jake Elliott.
Elliott's going to be the GOAT, baby. He's the highest paid. He's the highest paid Eagle kicker of all time.
Oh, God. David Akers, man, that guy was
Legend.
And I had the opportunity on one of our shows to interview him. He's like the nicest guy on the planet.
Nice.
Literally the nicest guy on the planet. Yeah, he's so nice. We interviewed him.
I have David Akers on here, man.
That was awesome. He pushed the interview back a little bit because, like, on top of being a great guy, like, he's also a great dad. So he's like, oh, I had to go to my kid's game, lacrosse game. So can we push it back? We're like, yes, you can. We can push it back
whenever you want.
Whatever you want, David Akers. David Akers, man, is a great dude, a nice dude, and the greatest kicker to ever be on the team.
That's how Bobby Taylor was. He's like, hey, man, I'm about to go on vacation, man. So can I push it back in a couple of I'm like, really? As long as you remember me when you come back from vacation.
Whatever you want.
Good. And he remembered. He gave me up and said, let's do it, man. It was awesome.
I love that.
That's awesome, man. Who's going to be the punter on this team?
I mean, I like Sean Landeta. I always love me some Sean Landeta. Dude was just a beast.
Landeta to make the team.
Yeah. Sean Landeta, man. I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, for me, so I'm a special teams guy. Like, I appreciate the value behind special teams.
Mm-hmm.
For me, he's the last guy that we had that really perfected that coffin corner kick.
Yeah.
That we all used to have to do that drill on Madden when we played, and it was like, here's your punter drill. You got to do the coffin corner with like the arcs and stuff.
Hey, you know how to do that punt on Madden. You were good. You kept me on that 2-1 year. Like, you got it? You're like, yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I was a special teams beast. Mm-hmm. You just angled it high and out.
Yeah.
And that was Sean Landeta. And then he would get down there and make the tackles. Like, Sean Landeta, I loved him as a punter.
Yeah.
And he was one of the last punters to hold the ball for the kickers. I missed that.
Well, we got
sorry. No, other way around. He was one of the first ones to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started moving the punters in for the backup quarterbacks.
Yes. And now we're back to the punter.
That's what I'm saying. I miss the backup quarterback, but Sean Landeta was so good at what he did that he was one of the first ones they put in there to do it.
Who's going to be the defensive coordinator for this group?
Jim Johnson.
Jimmy G.
Jim Johnson.
Go.
Jim Johnson.
Eagles go.
Jim Johnson. You cannot argue with Jimmy Johnson.
And the head coach?
Andy Reid.
Big Red?
Andy Reid. Again, okay. We get it. Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl, so he should be on this list. Doug Peterson did not win that Super Bowl. The players won that Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Andy Reid, for the amount of time that his teams were excellent, puts him on that list.
Yes. Andy Reid, I still cheer for Andy Reid.
Yeah, just not against Philly.
Yeah, when he playing us, hey, you suck, Andy Big Red. Hope he die, just for this game. But yeah, Andy Reid.
And when they fired him,
national championships in a row, and just be a winning organization under your whole helm, the whole stint, except for the last year you left, But he had a lot of personal problems that last year.
And the other thing was and I know that people are saying, oh well, he shouldn't have been fired. When they fired him, he did deserve to go. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he really did. He had lost the locker room. Yeah. Nobody was responding to him anymore. I mean, and it had gone drastically downhill. So at the time when they fired him, I did understand it. But you saw how quickly that he got work. So for me, it says a lot that Doug Peterson has not gotten work.
Yeah. True that, man. What up, Rashad? Coming in at the end. But hey, man, thank you again for stopping by. This is going to be a long season. If you ever need some collabs or you ever want to come back on the show, just let me know, my guy.
Absolutely, man.
You're always a welcome. It's been a good show today. Go ahead and give them the last little breakdown of where they can find you at on all your social platforms.
So again, first off, I want to thank you for having me on tonight, man. This was a lot of fun. I tell you, it's a Sunday night. It's been a lot of rain and weather, but it's also a week until Eagles football. So I was excited to pop on and talk some Eagles football with you. Again, I am Chip. I am a part of the All About the Birds / the AAT Sports Network team. I'm one of the hosts over there. So I do my own show every Monday night called Chips and Dish. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. So you can find the link. I think it's higher up in the comment section. So make sure you're checking it out. Yep.
Hit it up, man.
We have shows.
Guys.
We have shows, I think, every night of the week. Hold on. So Monday, definitely. Tuesday, definitely. Yeah, we have shows every night of the week. I think except Saturday night. So make sure you're checking us out, and make sure you're subscribing to both of our shows. I mean, this was great, man. I'm like ready to go. I'm excited now.
That's my job, is to make sure when you leave this show, even if you were not pumped up about the season, you're a little bit more pumped up about it when you leave, my guy. Because it's bird season time. It is Hurts season. The young guns are coming for the league, and they better watch out. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, thank all you guys that are still in the chat. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to both of our channels. You know what I'm saying? We're Eagle content creators putting out that good work like we always do. Like I said before, a birthday, you got a wedding, any kind of gift situation, go hit that button, and the link on the top, at the very top I pinned up there. It's for La Terrain watches, man. Go put BIRDGANG31 promo code and get 10% off on your watches, my guy. Go get you a watch, man. I'm getting me one. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting one that's in the mail as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you're on Facebook, I see the Facebook Live. Much love to you guys. Please always hit that link above that, so we can get your name. When you put those comments in, sometimes it just says Facebook user. Click the StreamYard link. Give them access to your Facebook so they can go ahead and put your name on here so we can give you the proper love that we need to give you. You know what I'm saying? Because you took the time out to watch us. Another couple of big things, like I said, the partnership with La Terrain is in full effect. Also, we are working on a new network. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be 24/7, 7 days a week. Eagles 365. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be called BIRDGANG Sports Media. So be on the lookout for that. We're trying to drop the network first week of the season, or maybe by the second week of the season. We're just finishing up all the shows. We got a lot of great shows coming your way. So, support the guys.
Yeah.
Look out, look for the messages on videos and inside the messages on all the major platforms. Twitter, if you want to collab with me, Twitter, BIRDGANG31_P, capital P. And then Facebook, you can just meet me in BIRDGANG Nation Sports Live group. That's my group that I run over there. If you're not on there, if you want to put some media over there, my guy, go ahead and add it. I'll add you up there and get you all linked away if you want to have another place to drop your media at.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Twitter is just BIRDGANG31. So much love to all you guys. Like I always say, fly, Eagles, fly. And until next time, this was BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk. I am your host, BIRDGANG31, and we are out. Peace.
He chose not to have the surgery. He chose to rest and relax and hope it goes away. And then he ended.
We took a look at Gilmore, and if we got Gilmore, we win in the division. I feel like, I feel like Stephon Gilmore.
Richard Rodgers. He was with our team over the last couple of years. But this is about our fourth time picking him up. What does that mean for